Coach been preaching grit really since he got here, but just definitely heavily over the past week. Grit. You just gotta just preaching grit, and we all bought in and we all believed. Excuse my language, but it was a defensive performance. Offense bailed it out. Justin, Brees, everybody, the O-line, everybody. Mason with a crazy grab, Brees with a crazy throw, OC with a crazy call. But they bailed us out, and man, the defense stepped up in that final drive. It was just complimentary football. And, like I said, it wasn't a great defensive performance at all. But, we came out with a win, and that's what's going to show.
What did it mean to get this for AJ?
And it meant a lot to get it for everybody. I'm not gonna lie, but definitely, Coach Glenn deserves it. He's been consistent in his message, and had ultimate faith in us and his coaching staff the whole way. So it was amazing to get him that first win, and it was amazing to get 0-7 off our back. I'm not gonna lie. So we're just super excited. Keep this momentum, keep the belief. The first one, the hardest one. Now hopefully we turn this thing around. That's the plan.
We heard the celebration from the locker room. Can you just describe what that was like?
Man, like I said, getting that 0-7 off our back, everybody was ecstatic. Everybody was emotional to some extent. But we just knew we were better than 0-7. We know. But what matters is we are 1-0 this week, and that's what's been our main focus. So we're excited to move on from here.
This is the first time in a long time you've been able to see your offense go up and down the field like that.
Yes.
Not only getting touchdowns, but field goals as well. What did that make the defense feel like? What did you guys feel like when you saw that?
First off, as a prideful individual in a prideful room, like I said, it wasn't a great performance at all. So we were just thankful that they kept bailing us out, and we knew when it came down that final drive, we had to step up. We've got to make a stand sometime, and I'm glad everybody in the defensive room that we stood up in that last drive for sure.
It couldn't have been an easy week for Justin with everything that was going on around him. For him to come out and play like that today, what does it tell you?
Never a doubt. I tell Justin every week, I believe in you, I have faith in you. Go out there and play your brand of ball, and that's what he did today. And he never wavers, never gets too high, never gets too low. Ultimate faith and belief in himself, and then really that's the offensive side of the ball in a whole. Like I said, they kept bailing us out all game long. So, just all the props to them. All the props to every player on that side of the ball for sure.
What was going through your head when Brees dropped back and had that throw or got out of the pocket?
Shit. Oh, hell yeah. That's what it felt like. So they did a great job, and they converted, and that's all that matters.
We're not talking moral victory. We're talking about an actual victory. How does it feel to get that first one?
I mean, it feels great. It feels great for the O-line, for the offense, for AG. Being able to go out there and get him his first win, especially with having almost 500 yards of offense. It's a great feeling, especially not everything was perfect, but we kind of were able to just sit there and stay the course, keep leaning on them and springing those, and it felt good, and that was kind of the most fun football I've had playing football in a while.
Now, there was a lot of people on Twitter and social media that was asking for a win. Unfortunately, Nick Mangold passed away. They wanted to win it for Nick. Yeah. How did it feel for you to get that done? Your former, his position is your position.
I mean, it's a great feeling. My heart goes out to his family. I'm with the whole, pregame, everything. I was, had him in my prayers. I do a lot of praying before the game. So just to be able to sit there and, kind of pray for him, pray for his family, and then, I kind of keeping it at the back of my mind that I want to go out there and win this for him. And just, the way he welcomed me when I got drafted, being a center, playing center, like he was with open arms, anything I need, the whole time. So just, to lose a great man like that, my heart goes out to his family.
Can you talk about just what it meant for Justin to get this win for him?
So great. Just to be able to see, in the organization, we know that he's a guy that goes out and attacks it every single day. So to see him be able to come away with this, and have a dominant performance, just doing what he does, having fun, it was a great feeling.
You guys have practiced that play that where Brees throws it to Mason a lot. There was like
maybe.
You let the cat out of the bag.
But I was how excited when that was called.
It was. I knew it was, and then I looked up and I said, "Oh, maybe not." And then, Mason was able to make a great play there. So I'm excited to get that one off the sheet.
Back to Justin. What do you know about him? About him inside that enabled him to put forth an effort like this today? He's been under a lot of criticism.
Yep.
We know about what the owner said this week, unfortunately. Fortunate comments. But
Yeah.
what do you know about him that lets you know that he can go out and do what he did today?
He's a guy that's going to always work silently. You know, he's going to have his head down and go to work. So, you know, whether that lit a fire under, you know, kind of in his chest or not, but it was something that, you know, maybe was sitting in the back of his head. So he wanted to go out there and prove it and prove, you know, what he can do. And, you know, for him to have that win and, you know, us as an organization, AG, you know, the O-line, everybody, I mean, it's a great feeling. And I'm sure you guys probably missed it, but the energy in the locker room afterward was awesome.